Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with local and national thought leaders on issues impacting the Black community. Now introducing our host, Miss Anne Marie Sorrell.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Lunch with Legacy Leaders. I am your host, Anne Marie Sorrell, President and CEO of the Mosaic Group. We are super excited about our broadcast today, as we always are, because we always like to bring you the latest and greatest in news and trends. But before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Thank you to Broward Health, AARP, the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, and the African American Black Alzheimer's Disease Initiative at the John P. Husband Institute for Human Genomics, University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. If you or someone you know is experiencing loss of memory or memory problems, please contact their research team for more information at 877-686-6444. Now, today I am joined in the studio by my friends, my brother, Mr. Tony Lesesne, who is the co-founder and chief creative officer of Lesesne Media Group Entertainment. Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, Tony.
Hey, it's so good to be here, Anne Marie. Thank you for having me. It's so good to see you again.
It's good seeing you. I mean, I haven't seen you in person in like forever and a day.
I know, COVID.
I know. So Tony, oh my God, you and I go back, gosh, at least maybe 12 years, I'm sure.
Yes. I think when I met you, I was about 25 and you were about 15. You were a youngster. I'm just kidding.
I know that could come off a little,
I know. No, I'm just watching you evolve. So excited. You've just done some amazing things. You make history and people don't know it, which is why Black media is so important.
Absolutely. So yeah, our topic today is on Black media, and you are like one of the kings and trailblazers of Black media. So I just want to briefly just tell a little bit about you, and then we're going to actually have you say in your own words. Again, you're the co-founder, chief creative officer of Lesesne Media Group, which is an award-winning South Florida-based multimedia film, events, and web TV distributor. The 29-year-old veteran producer, director, brand consultant, coach, and media leader, manages a client roster of large and small firms, including Ford Motor Company, Mercedes-Benz, Florida Power and Light, and the Miami-Dade County Public Schools. In 2004, you were honored with the Golden Orange Award by People's Republic of China and Chemical. In 2015, you led the development of InFocus TV Online, which is www.infocustv.online, Miami Urban Music and Film Festival TV, and Autofocus World TV. And in 2017, Lesesne Media Group Entertainment was selected as the Digital Communicator of the Year by the Black-owned Media Alliance. And in 2019, you were awarded the Media Drum Award by the Concerned African Women for your media support of inner city education and student success. And you're you're a founding member of the Southern Automotive Media Association and founding member and president of the Black-owned Media Alliance. So you've been in media for quite some time. Just briefly share your journey on how you even got into media, what sparked your interest.
Sure, thank you for that. No, I was involved in music and sports. I played in a band and I played basketball in high school and college. I did an interview after a game. I was on camera and I just kind of got fascinated with the whole activities of how it worked. And long story short, I did announcing for AAU, Summer League around the country. I found some work at Channel 10, WPLG, when I came here to Miami. Started at the bottom, like everybody, and just kind of worked my way through the process while developing a record label and continuing to just get more skills, experience, feedback, mentorship, and launched Lesesne Media Group Entertainment in 1993. Okay. The first piece of that was InFocus magazine, which was a print publication, as well as LMG Films, where we did documentary films. We worked on a few going back in the day. Remember the whole muck matters up in Okeechobee and things of that nature. Just telling stories in Florida that people need to know behind the scenes, and also highlighting folks who are making history. But as you know, our history is also kind of buried. So I really got excited about it, and then started drifting off into digital media content, multiple shows here in Southern California, and also feature films. We've completed 4, and the first one hopefully will be finished in the summer 2022, ready for screening. That's my story.
That is amazing. So let's talk about BOMA. I know you're one of the co-founders of BOMA, which is the Black Owners Media Alliance. I hope I said that right.
Very well, very well.
Yeah. So why BOMA? Why was BOMA formed? Why is it important?
That's a really good question. I think the question about why BOMA was formed and why it's important is basically a prelude to the bigger question: is why does Black media matter? When Dexter Bridgman came to South Florida, well, I met him. He was doing a magazine, and up until meeting him, most people in this community were very reluctant to provide support to us or each other. It was just a mindset, and coming from the DC area where I went to college was a very different mindset. Whereas Dexter Bridgman came and said, hey man, we all need to have more advertisers because we're fulfilling the mission of media, but we're not getting the equal support as the other media outlets are getting. They would come into town unknown, get millions of dollars of advertising while we're here in the trenches, in the ditches, digging and just trying to elevate our community, back things that are important to the county, the state, the city, and various organizations, but wouldn't get the reciprocal advertising. So he started sharing people he knew, as opposed to saying your competition. He's like, let's teamwork. And I thought, okay, where's the knife sticking in my back? Like, I wasn't used to that, and so I was, we all fell in love with Dexter. So when he came back and said, let's start an organization called BOMA, Black Owned Media, so forth, I was like, Black this, yeah, I'm proud to be Black, but we serve everybody. And he goes, no, we're going to focus on trying to help even the playing field in advertising and help educate advertisers on why getting the Black audience is so critical, especially in a market like this where we're 20 to 40% of the buying consumer that can afford to buy products. So I joined with him. He was the first president. I was elected second president. There were maybe 7 of us in the original founding. And it's been 5 years, and we have helped brands expose their opportunities, their products and services to a broader range of people. Collectively, we're reaching over 2 million people a month. And I see the sponsors below. This is where they need to be. This is critical. And we want to help brands grow, and we want to help our media outlets grow and serve better. So that has to happen. So we're trying to educate our buyers, our consumers, both not just, that includes Black business as well. A lot of small Black businesses don't know or understand how to market. That's one of our missions, one of our objectives this year, is to help small businesses market better too. You can't depend on word of mouth to survive in the long haul. We've been in business going on 30 years. We understand how to do it right and how to mess up. So yeah, that's what BOMA is about, and that's what we're trying to do. And we've increased members even in a pandemic year. And 2020 was a good year, but we have to continue to push and also educate our members on ways to expand their audiences and leverage social media and so forth to grow.
Absolutely. And I'm going to come back to some of the points that you talked about, particularly on the advertising side. But then, and for our audience that's listening, I think a lot of times some don't know that there are, 2 sides of the media house. You have the editorial and reporting side, and then you have the advertising and sales component, which is what is needed to keep the editorial and reporting side going. You need the advertising, sales, and things like that. So we're going to touch on both of those. So, what is the current state of Black media, and why is Black media important?
Well, the current state of Black media is like all media, evolving. trying to maintain footing while establishing new footing in other areas of new media. Also, the Black media matters now more than ever. I think that we've got uh, people, Black Americans, Americans first, who have transformed our nation from the founding to today. Black women delivered a president in the last election. Black media empowered Black women. Black media empowered people who win elections to win elections. Black media empowered businesses to grow, to evolve, to hire quality people, a more diverse workforce by interacting with us in Black media to say, hey, we need to diversify our management, we need to diversify our employment base, we need to diversify our board, and we need to diversify our audience base. All at the bottom, it leads to a stronger bottom line. Black media helps businesses make money, secure audiences, and maintain a loyal following. Black audiences are ruthlessly loyal. I mean, to a fault, and, and people understand that. So, the state of Black media is very, very critical, very pivotal right now. But it's also very exciting. And because of COVID, we learned how important Black media is because the messaging that Black media has delivered has literally saved lives. Literally saved lives by encouraging people to listen to the truth. Another reason why Black media matters so much is fake news. Black media doesn't do fake news. We can't. We don't have. See, we don't have to worry about pundits or whatever. You want to have a tough audience? Get Black people as an audience. Okay, they will check your behind. So you got to be correct. You got to come correct, and you got to be on point. And you have to make sure that there is no fake news, which is running rampant in our community to a point where it has caused people to lose lives, not listening to real and accurate information. So Black media matters now more than ever before. I think that we all just have to continue to learn how to shift our dynamics. Our company went from print to digital almost 15 years ago. And we're continuing to do it and learn and understand how to make that work. So yeah, Black media is I'm excited about Black media, but I think also we have to look at the sub segments of Black media. For example, there's Black media in gospel. The Gospel Truth magazine does the clergy, the faith-based. We got art, okay. You have outlets very much like sugarcane media. You got leadership and excellence, where legacy, MIA. You've got news and politics, Miami Times. You've got automotive, movies, and cars and tech, us. Okay, you've got women, which is Woody's outlet, or Women's Power Caucus, Alicia Curry. We got Island TV and just so many of our outlets. Islands Origin, that serves our multicultural Caribbean community that also deals with the world. So there are a lot of sub segments within Black media, just like all media, that serve various audiences that can still help you win.
No, I agree. I want to touch on, you talked about fake news, misinformation, and different types of media. And I want to ask you, you have traditional media, which a lot of the entities that you mentioned kind of fall under your traditional media, newspaper, magazine, now digital, right? But how, now that you have like competing sources, your vloggers on YouTube, your podcasters, your digital talk shows, self-included, this one, Tea with Anne Marie that I have, and there's so many other just personalities that are how do you say it?
Self-producing.
Self-producing,
Yeah. Yeah.
self-proclaimed journalists. No real formal training in
Right. Right.
journalism. So, but these persons, these influencers, are influencing people with their quote unquote media and reporting. And sometimes it may not always be factual
Yeah.
because they're not doing investigative journalism. It's really based on opinions and trends and things like that. So how does traditional Black media compete with vloggers, podcasters, and influencers who are creating their own media?
That's a really good question. And a lot of people have asked me that question. And first and foremost, I welcome anyone that has a voice. I think that if you have a voice and we have the technology and you're serving a particular audience, whether like my cousin, our family is huge. And and we got sophisticated members of our family, and we got hood folks in the family like everybody else. But we have a few people that use technology, Facebook and other outlets to keep the family up on what's happening. So they are the family influencers. So who you're influencing. So I don't look at it as competition. I think what's more important is that our audiences understand what is a credible journalist and what is a person providing an opinion. We have even news outlets that I've listened to, conservative and liberal news outlets will report on something as if it's factual when it is entirely opinionated. I literally saw someone say, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group that is destroying the fabric of our country, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're just people who are complaining that cops shot their kid in the back on video. How are they the villain? That was someone's opinion. And then they got that opinion from alternative facts, lies, or rumors. And so I think that when you're talking to an audience, for me, my claim to others is to say is this: we have to have an intelligent audience base, because if we did, we wouldn't have had a riot on the Capitol. If we had people that were using intelligence, facts, and data instead of following one or a few people that will lead them over the cliff or into the river like the Pied Piper, then media is going to go to hell. We have to make sure for every demon, there's an angel. For every bad outlet that's perpetrating poor misinformation, we in the media, including Black media, have to keep leveling the playing field with authentic facts, or where, like most say, well, this is an opinion. So that's the main thing. I mean, you can say whatever you like. You can have whatever kind of media outlet. That's the beauty of America. No one's going to knock on your door and put you outside in the backseat of the car. We never see you anymore for saying something nobody liked. You can do that. The only difference is, and we stress this in BOMA, is that you want to be credible and you want to be reliable. And I always ask the other members that when we take a position on a particular item, somebody or many of us have to be absolutely checking the facts and making sure that this is accurate. I learned that when I started my career at WPLG Channel 10. That was the first thing we learned, is when you open your mouth, speak the truth and back it up.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. I know on the and you've worked on both the media side and agency side, so you can relate to the question I'm about to ask you. I know even sometimes dealing with clients, it's on my side, on the agency side, it's challenging sometimes to really educate them and help them to understand the importance of advertising and not, okay, so both sending press releases and editorial stories to Black media, but also spending advertising dollars with Black media. What are the trends that you're seeing when it comes to not just corporate companies, but government agencies and medium to large companies, non-Black companies, advertising as well as sending their stories that have a diverse component to it to Black media.
The first and unfortunate reality is, I know that being with InFocus Magazine, InFocus TV Online, Autofocus, it has been a consistent trend over these 28 years to get press releases, of which when we follow up on that, there's no cost. Some of these PR companies are just horrible. Don't send a press release and don't answer the phone when the press is trying to follow up. The second thing is, usually the people in public relations and press have nothing to do with marketing. They're not talking to each other. My job is to get you to make this a story. People over here, they have a different mandate. But what we're seeing now today in 2020, 2021, and what we expect to see beyond this, and what we, with our LMG entertainment companies, the networks and TV shows and web shows that we do, is encourage our advertisers to sort of have a hybrid. So we have a story out with one of my mentees. He's a big shot tech executive, Albert Gibbs, Citrix Systems. He does an academy, helps kids get scholarships, but he also helps eliminate the digital divide. And he has a show on our networks called Beyond Insight. Now, he suffered from COVID. He got hit. He almost died. And so he talks about that experience. He doesn't even talk technology in this episode. He just talked about his COVID experience and why he's vaccinated, and encouraging people to do that, and telling people to do their own homework. Not telling you what to do, just do your homework. We matched that with press releases that we got from other partners, Baptist Health, Jackson, some others, Health Foundation of South Florida. They were all working their butts off to try to get the vaccination rate higher and the infection and death rate lower, especially in our community. So we had something in common, saving lives. So we said, well, wait, this before we do, let's not do a tech piece here. Let's do a piece on Albert. You almost died. That's this episode. And we'll bring in our sponsors and partners to advertise with this. So we're not just throwing it out there, but there's a real story behind what happened, and that's tied to their advertisement, which is also saying you can get vaccinated right here. And we have more solutions on our website. Those are the kind of activation and sort of the morphing of content that we're seeing. And that's what we're recommending to businesses large and small. Don't just send a press release. Look at your overall marketing and communications strategy, and look at companies like ours and all those in BOMA as partners. You've got some amazingly talented people in BOMA, brilliant individuals. Jessica Motkins is brilliant, not only PR, but she has one out called The Culture. There's just a lot of brilliant people. Jesse Coleman has something that reaches millennials, Video Mix TV, that can help integrate your message. You just have to communicate, and we'll show you how to do it.
No, that's great. So how does for those who, it's going to be a two-part question, for individuals out there, businesses that are out there, what are some tips that you can give them for both advertising as well as getting their story told through earned media, which is more on the press release, PSA, story pitching, editorial side?
Well, that's a real good question, and we deal with that all the time, because you've got startups that don't have a big budget, then you've got a Fortune 500 company that can spend what they want, but they're still being careful how they spend. The first thing any company needs to do when you're trying to expand your brand and your audience share, which is what you're looking for, you say, okay, every market is like a pie, and you're going to say, how much of that pie can I get in my area? So if I'm a plumber, the pie is, well, how many people can I reach in that market? And of those people I can reach, how many can I actually realistically service? That's your market share. Or you have no market share because maybe this other plumber down the road gets all the business. So so you look at your market share and you say, well, you form partnerships. Everything is about relationships. When I watched this show, the first time I watched, I saw your beautiful face, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch because I know Anne Marie. When people go to see Oprah, they were going to see the Oprah show. It didn't matter who the guest was; that was icing on the cake. It's relationships. She had proven herself, and I think that when you're a new business, what you're trying to do first and foremost with your audience is prove that you're legit, that you're going to show up, you're going to do the job over and over and over again. Well, we in media have to do the same thing. We've been around, but we're also telling the companies that need to grow, build relationships with the media. Even before you're advertising, if you're just trying to say the first thing I want to do is have you publish this press release and you don't even know what we do, then you may be trying to put a circle in a square peg. As I mentioned earlier, different media outlets do different things. The Herald is a news outlet, okay? ESPN is sports. So you want to try to match what you're dealing with to promote with the kind of media or a department within that media. If I'm a bank and I know that LMG has a financial component, I know that Legacy MIA is just launching a money-oriented show, then I need to get on that show. Wells Fargo, you need to get on that. You guys got some damage control to do, big time. Okay, big time. You're bleeding. So
That's so true. Text to reach out to Wells Fargo.
They need to reach out to us. It's not just getting a new client. Sometimes in this particular case, it's about reshaping or doing damage control of the opinion of yourself. I mean, we all have to do that, reinvent, reshape, and admit to what happened in the past in your ads, in your stories. Because if you do that, black media and all media will talk to each other saying, they're just going to place the ad to get stories and then they'll go away again. It's an interesting game, but I love it.
Now, does BOMA accept non-media out like official media outlets to become members?
Yeah, the important thing, see, is there's different levels for everything. Okay, if you're a blogger and you're online, the most important things you need to be able to do is have a consistent schedule. You can't just go, you know what, I feel like blogging today while I'm eating breakfast, and then you come back 2 weeks later or the next day. Autofocus, cool cars, technology, innovation, and travel for people of color who, we buy so many cars. So I host that show, and it comes out now twice a week, Monday and Thursday, starting this next season next week. People can count on that. I know when Legacy MIA, look at this one, Lunch with Legacy Leaders. It's like clockwork. So that's, if you're a blogger or a content creator, the first thing you want to look at is, are you consistent? Who are you serving? Can you bring something to BOMA that we can learn from? And what do you want to learn from BOMA? And the main thing is learning how to work as a cohesive, as a collective, which is something we all have to continue to learn. Learning how to get the most out of your own capabilities, because you, Anne Marie, have you have a recognizable brand. I had a piece last week said you are your brand. Before your company is you. So you have a recognizable brand, especially but not exclusively in the Palm Beaches, Broward, and so forth. Well, if you are doing media or social media, you already have that. It's just a matter of putting your plan together, your release schedule together, and also understanding how you're going to help both your audience. And if anyone does choose to advertise with you, how are you going to help them? That's at the end of the day. How are you going to help them?
Absolutely. Now, before I ask you your golden nugget, even though you've dropped many today, how does one A reach BOMA and B reach Lesesne Media and Entertainment Group?
Wow. Well, fine. You can reach both through me as well. Do I say my email or how do I do
Yeah,
this?
whatever you want to publicize, whatever, however you want
Okay.
people to reach you.
There's my name. My email is my last name, my first initial at gmail.com. Lesesne T at gmail.com. And I will gladly lead you to wherever you want to go in the magnificent, wonderful world of the Black Owned Media Alliance. Side note, majority members are females. Yeah, man, these are some bad sisters, okay? My sisters are awesome and they're cute and beautiful and fine. But that's we're blessed, man. I just like God is good. God is good. Because there's not a question that I can ask that won't get answered by one of these women, including my wife Woody. I mean, the answers, these women are so smart and they're making history every day. So that's how you can reach me, LesesneT at gmail.com for BOMA. If you want to know more information about Lesesne Media Group, any of the shows that we have on our roster for the fall and winter, ways to do business or come on board as a contributor in any way, same thing, LesesneT at gmail.com. It's French, LESESNET at gmail.com.
So you are accepting other, contributors or content creators.
We are, but we have a rule. Number one, three rules. One, you gotta be about what you're about. Okay. Albert, who does Beyond Insight, is a tech executive. He loves it. He eats it. He drinks it. He sleeps it. He loves it. That's his world. So that's his show. He's authentic. He's real about it. He knows the environment. He knows the community. So I would suggest that if you choose to be a content creator, particularly with us, know your lane. It doesn't mean you don't have more than one lane, but you got to have that one main lane. Okay. I know that you are a brilliant strategist and publicist, and I know your lane. The second thing I would say is be prolific. I call it the Tupac effect. Long after Tupac was gone, he had like 20 albums still gone. I mean, ready to go. The brother stayed in the studio. The Pac effect. In other words, be prolific. I have at least 30 more shows ready to go. 4 shows, 4 films ready for post. Already, I don't have to film it. So you don't have to, I don't have to prove anything. Just as, as some bands say, don't talk to me about your music. Just push play. Just play. And so, and thirdly, have fun. If you're not having fun, like, how is that your passion? If you're following your passion and you're not having fun, you're a glutton for punishment. I want to see your show. I want to see you suffer, if that's what you're trying to do. Have fun. And my extra credit one is do more than you say. I'll leave that at that.
Do more than you say. I love it. Well, Tony, it's always great connecting with you, catching up, talking with you. Please send my love to Woody. Let her know that I miss her as well. And hopefully we'll be in the same spaces together soon. And keep doing the amazing work that you all are doing with Lesesne Media Group. And of course, continue doing the great work you're doing with BOMA, along with the other members of BOMA. It's very important. And for those who are listening, please make sure you support our Black media. This is how we're able to really tell our stories, share our stories with the world. And support does not mean only reading or listening or tuning in. It's also if you're able to sponsor, whether it's your employer being a sponsor or an advertiser. So there's sponsorship in the digital space. And then, of course, there's advertising as well in the digital and print world. So if you can encourage your employer to be a advertiser or sponsor, as well as if you own your own business, if you can find a way to also advertise with our media outlets, that would be great. And if you need a listing of those outlets, you can definitely check them out with BOMA, as well as you can always reach out to Legacy. Legacy is a member of BOMA, so you can also learn from Legacy as well. With that, we do have some quick announcements. So Tony, stay with me as I just make some quick announcements. And of course, thank our sponsors again, Broward Health, AARP, the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, and the African American Black Alzheimer's Disease Initiative at the John P. Hussman Institute for Human Genomics, University of Miami Miller School of Medicine. Please check out our current issue where we are featuring South Florida's 40 under 40 Black leaders of today and tomorrow. Congratulations to our honorees once again. And also, please make sure you check out we have a few shows, but of course, please remember to tune in to our show Soul, hosted by Nikki Jellin, every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. as we disseminate intellectual entertainment on fashion, arts, culture, relationships, mental health, and food in South Florida. And we also have several new shows. You want to make sure you check them out. The Business of Black Business, hosted by Jay Reynolds. My Money, Your Money, hosted by Bridget Lumpkins. And Flavor of South Florida, hosted by Chef Irie. So really and truly, we have a show for you every single day, Monday through Friday. You can tune in to MIA Media Group on Facebook, YouTube, as well as register for our newsletter and check us out at miamediagrp.com for all the show times and listings. We just have a lot for you. So yes. So Tony, any closing thoughts before we tell everyone to have a great day?
Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, I can't express how grateful I am to the leadership and vision of one Dexter Bridgman. When I became president of BOMA and we wanted to do a leadership award, I suggested that we name it after him while he's alive and young and vibrant. So the first award came to me, and this is so vital to me because those are some footsteps that are huge. I said, Dexter, I'm not going to fill your footsteps. I'm not even going to try that. Forget that, man. And he said, Tony, just make your own footsteps. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is definitely the YouTube channel, In Focus TV online. Go to YouTube. We want to get to 1,000. And that's important. And then lastly, one of the things that I also learned from Dexter, is love. He loves his community. He works hard, but I can see at the heart of it is love. Because I saw him zip past me like a race driver, taking care of some business. And I said, I don't want to work that hard. I'm a wimp. He made me feel wimpy.
Dex, no, you're absolutely right. Dexter is hardworking and he's humble. He's very humble.
So the love is important. Whatever you do, I know we all do it out of love. I know you do it out of love. If you put love and passion first, the money will come. Thank you so much, Anne Marie. I appreciate it. And Aaliyah, too.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, please share this video, follow and subscribe to MIA Media Group. Also, please go and subscribe to Anne Marie Sorrell on YouTube. As Tony said, I'm also looking to grow my subscribers as well. So please go and subscribe there. And again, save the date every Thursday afternoon. We'll see you here next Thursday at noon. Have a great afternoon.